the time intelligence, these are the time intelligence related functions, the total, MTD, QTD, year to date, and dates, MTD, QTD, and YTD. So the dates, MTD, QTD, YTD, these functions are alternative to your total MTD, QTD, YTD. And also you can, you can create a fiscal year to date using total YTD itself. Okay. Plus cumulative total, same period last year, parallel period date, add opening balance month and closing balance month also available. To start with, let us understand what is time intelligence functions and what is time intelligence, first of all, right? So if you want to perform any calculations on date and time data, and these functions allows us, which functions? These functions allows us to analyze the data across different periods, like months, quarters, years, and days also. So these are the key time intelligence function, the total YTD and QTD, MTD. So it helps us to calculate the year to date, quarter to date, and month to date totals. Using time intelligence function, we can perform like for like analysis. For example, what is the total revenue, in this quarter, compared to the previous year, the same quarter. So we are in quarter 3, right? So quarter 3, 2024, say the revenue performance, I want to compare it with the quarter 3, 2023. Okay, same period last year, you want to compare it. That is possible. That is called like for like analysis. Okay. These functions helps us to understand the trends, the sales trends over time, and also you can perform performance across different periods and forecasting. It helps you to predict the future trends and then dynamic report. Okay, you can create interactive reports with time-based filters and so on. Okay, using the time intelligence functions. Okay, and here we discussed about the month to date functions. What is year to date, month to date, quarter to date? Somebody is asking you what is month to date, as on today. Let's say, for example, you look at this data here. You have orders placed. Each day, how many orders we received, you can see it here. And along with that, we have year to date, QTD, MTD. So these three are measures. YTD, QTD, MTD are measures. And we just dragged and dropped these measures along with these columns. Okay. Here, if you see the 14th January, 70 orders we received. Previously, right? The 630, 697, previously, right? My month to date, 697 we received. And that one, if you add it with this 14th January sales, right? Sorry, or number of orders received, you will get almost 767. If you see across the periods, like year to date, quarter to date, month to date, the same value is it. So for this, the basic thing, right? This is the part. The basis for this one is this one. See the 13 January 2013. On that day, what is the month to date sales value? 697. And 14 January, 70 orders we received. 697 plus 70 is 767. Okay, and then 15th Jan, 99 orders received. And if you add this one with this one, you will get 866. If somebody is asking you on 15th January, give me the month to date orders that we received it, you have to say 866, right? Starting from the beginning of the current month to till date, that is called your month to date. Okay. And why year to date? Year to date is the period starting from the beginning of the current year up to, but not including today's date. So if somebody is telling you, right, let's say your manager asking, can you give me the year to date revenue performance or revenue, sales value? So in that case, you need to take into account of the 1st January 2024 to till date. Whatever the sales we made, that is called your year-to-date sales as on date. But here I mentioned something like, year-to-date is the period starting from the beginning of the current year, which means, in this case, let's say somebody is asking, my manager is asking, hey, Satya, can you please give me year-to-date sales. This is calling me today and he's telling me. So that means, right, I need to start the sales values from 1st January 2024 to till date, but not including today's date. Okay. The reason is today's sales is not yet over, right? Today's business is not over. Nowadays, the businesses are operating across the time zones 24/7. Okay, hence, right, we don't consider today's date. No, so that's what I mentioned, up to, but not including today's date. Okay. And it's the same thing, right? So for this, we use a function called total YTD. The first argument is your expression, second is date column, and this is your fiscal year today. The third argument here, the March 31st, is the fiscal year to date, isn't it? So if you want to find out the fiscal year to date sales, then you need to use, there is no function available, total FTD, FYTD and all, okay? So you have to use total weight, whether it is a the calendar year to date or fiscal year to date. The function name remains the same. The first two arguments remain the same. The third argument is applicable only for the fiscal year to date. What is the fiscal year to date? It is the period starting from the beginning of the first day of the current fiscal year. That which means 1st April 2024 is your first day of the current fiscal year, and it will end on the last day of the fiscal quarter most recently ended. That means 2025, year 2025, 31st March is the last day of the financial year. Okay. The financial year started, the 1st April to 2024 to it ends by next year, 31st March. So in that case, you need to specify the extra parameter, so something like this. It depends on the company where you live, country where you live. Let's say you are in USA, we don't have to specify because in USA, the calendar year and fiscal year, both of them same. If you live in United Kingdom, so you need to change accordingly, which month which date the fiscal year ends, okay, financial year ends, that you should be knowing it. Okay. So these are the tools, month to date, QTD, year to date are all vital tools to help you identify trends and predict future behavior, requirements or issues. Okay. See, like I told you here yesterday, in the last session, okay. If you see here all the values, 31st January up to 31st January, it adds the previous accumulated value, right? 1607 plus 67 is your 1674. That is how it it does. Look here for this date, 14th, right? 70 and month to date. If somebody is asking month date, starting from the beginning of this month to till the date, but up to except the today's date, right? 70 plus 697. But here we have included today's also. So in this case, maybe, right, the close of business every day at the end of the business, right? You do this one, okay? 767 plus 99, okay? And that is your month to date. If somebody is asking you, hey, please give me, let's say 15th January, somebody comes up your desk and asks me, can you please give me the month to date, the sales performance, right? So this is the number you have to give, not this number, or, orders placed, okay? So give me the month to date orders placed. When he comes and asks you on 15th January, so that means, this is the number he's asking you, not this number, okay? Give me how many orders we received today. If somebody is asking on 15th January, then you tell. But if they ask you what is the month to date, give me the month to date orders placed. When they ask you this question on 15th January, this is the mark. Okay. And similarly, this one will get added, this one and this one will come here. Okay. So likewise, right up to this, it is doing the cumulative total. But when it comes to the every month beginning, see the first February is the next month, right? So on that day, whatever the orders we receive, the same thing will be your month to date. Okay, month to date. And in 2nd February, somebody asking what is the month to date? This is the one you need to tell. How? 75 plus 38, that is the one will give you 113. So every month beginning, every new month beginning, the month to date value will get reset. Similarly, every new quarter beginning, this value, the cumulative total value will get reset. And similarly, every year beginning, every new year beginning, the year to date value will get reset, like the month to date. Okay. See, the 1674 was there, right, as of 31st January. But when it comes to the 1st February, this value got reset. Whatever the orders I received on 1st Feb, only that value displays. The same thing is applicable in QTD and year to date. It's pretty simple to remember these functions. If you want to find out the month to date sales, simply use total MTD, QTD, and YTD. Okay, that's all. Okay. And only thing is the fiscal year, you need to specify the additional parameter here in the total YTD. Okay. And apart from the total YTD, you have some dates, MTD, dates, QTD, dates, YTD functions are available. We can use either this or that. Okay. So in this case, obviously, you need to have a date table. Without date table, you cannot do filtering. Hence, you need to create the date table. So either you can use a calendar function or you can use the calendar auto function. Calendar auto function I discussed in the previous session. But in the case of calendar function, you need to use the minimum and maximum dates. The first argument is supposed to be your minimum and second argument is your maximum. Okay, in the case of calendar function. But in this case, you have to specify minimum and maximum, whereas the case of calendar auto, it automatically goes and finds out the least date available in any one of your models table. And also it goes and finds out the latest date from any one of the tables from your model. That is the beauty of calendar auto function. Both calendar auto and calendar function returns a table with date value. Once you have the date value available in your table, extracting the remaining values for the columns like month, quarter, that's pretty simple, right? And these are the functions, right? Sample code for number of days in a year. So date, right? So year one, come first day of the year. If you want to find out, you can use this function. And here date difference. If you want to find out the difference between the date, right? For the first day of the year and full date, it will give you the days of the year and days remaining in year. How many days are remaining? These are the functions are available. But once you start using these functions, you will learn about their functionality. And this is cumulative total. So in this case, what happens? If you see here, so you know what is MTD, right? So look here, this is your sales, right? Sales. So in the case of MTD or YTD or QTD, every beginning of the new month, the cumulative total will get reset in the case of total MTD. In the case of total QTD or quarter to date, every first quarter, the value will get reset in your QTD column. And similarly, in the case of YTD, every year beginning, the cumulative total will get reset. But when it comes to cumulative total is also called as a running total. What happens? It keeps adds the value, whether it's a month to date or say this one and this one and this one. You will get this one and this one and this one, you will get. So irrespective of the month to date, QTD, all the things, right? This will not get reset till the end. That's all, guys. That is what cumulative total. But there is no separate functions available to find out the cumulative total. You need to use the calculate function. So here I have used the filter function. Here the all function I used it. In this case, ignore all the filters on the date column. And then the first one, you know very well, the filter function, first argument supposed to be a table. But here I have used all function. The reason is the filter function builds a virtual table behind the scene. In the table, right, don't apply the filter that comes from date column, right? So that, you see here, this date, right? It will start with the first date in your table till the recent date. Okay, so that is the one. It keeps adds the value. So it takes the first value, first date, and then before that there are no values are there. So in this case, it will display this one as it is. And then what happens? When it comes to the next record, again it goes by the first one and second one, right? And then it does it adds these two values and then put this one. Okay, this one and this one will get added, and then that one will come here. These two values will get added to this one. This is the one you'll get it. Okay. So that's the idea of this logic. Remember very well. Here I did not use total MTD, YTD, QTD. Simple calculate function is helpful. Whereas here I have used the filter modification function all on the date column so that it will not apply the filter row wise. So what have every time when it goes to the next row, it goes and picks up the data from the first date until the recent date. So for example, when the record is there here, right? It goes to the first record and second record, and then it adds these two values together, and this is what your cumulative total. Similarly, I put it here, right? 808.56 plus 314.22. And, the 8.808.314.22 plus 4503.84, that is the cumulative total in this record. That is what you can see. There is no separate function for the. So this is the one is used to watch the summation of number that is updated every time when a new number is entered by sequence. Okay, I just go ahead and I'll show you how to create month to date, everything. So if you see here already, I have used the table visual. So I just clicked on the table visual, it got highlighted. And then on the right side, if you see, in the rows, I have used the date. And then in the columns, I have used the date here. And one second. Yeah, and obviously, you need to use the numeric value in your values column, which is nothing but the sales. And along with that, MTD, these are the measures. Okay, these are the measures that I created. I just show you MTD. What is MTD? If you see your total MTD, it will be there. The first argument is sum of sales. What is sum of sales? That's the measure. If you open that measure, you can see that sum of sales will be there. Okay, and comma calendar date. So this is important, guys. Okay, only you when you use the date column from your calendar table, it can filter this table. Okay. So in this case, what happened? Look here, I just dragged and dropped the date column. So from where I dropped the column, you keep the cursor in. The calendar table date column, I dropped it here. And then the sales column, I dropped it from my sales underscore W04 table. Look here, this is the one I dropped it here. Along with that, this measure, I dropped it here. You can see that 528.67, that is what the sales we made on 1st Jan, 2nd Jan 314. And what happened here, the month to date, the same value it shows. Because before 1st Jan 2011, we did not start the business. There were no records there. Okay, there were no data available. Because we started only on 1st Jan 2021, this business, you assume that way, sales, okay. So since we don't have any other data, it will not get added there, simply it will display this value. And when it comes to 2nd January 2000, we made 314.22. So this one and this one will get added 842. And then what happens? 842 plus 89, 3000, right? So almost 4,840. Likewise, it does the total sales. And if you scroll down and see here, when it comes to 1st Feb 2011, so on that day, 188, that is the sales. And if you see here, the month to date sales got reset. It is not adding the previous month value with this value. It's not doing the cumulative total. Okay, every month, the beginning, the M to date value will get reset. Similarly, we have something else called dates MTD. Okay, I just show you dates MTD. It is also same, the functionality wise, it is also same as your total MTD. But you cannot use it directly. You need to use the dates MTD inside the calculate function. But in dates MTD, inside of that, you need to specify date column. That's all, guys. Okay. And both of them, if you see the value, right, it remains same. Either you can use this total MTD or you can use dates MTD. If you use dates MTD, you have to use it inside the calculate function. Next one is the dates QTD. You see your dates QTD. Your dates QTD is there. Okay, instead of MTD, your QTD is there. And you can also use the total QTD directly instead of using calculate all the things, right? Directly you can use them. It's up to you. Okay. And then next one is dates Q3 and dates YTD. Look here, dates YTD, dates YTD. Okay, and fiscal YTD. We have something called fiscal total YTD is very much helpful because we can specify the year end of your fiscal year, right? So that is the one you can specify here. Then the third argument. First argument is your expression, the sum of sales, in this case, calendar date column from your calendar table, and then this is the financial year end date. Okay, you need to see date and month. Once you specify, it stays here automatically. This is your 1st January to. So here, 2011, if you look at the fiscal year to date sales, right? It does the cumulative total year also. And then when it comes to March, yeah, March 31st, the fiscal year ends, and the 1st April 2011, it got reset, right? It got reset, which on fiscal year. Okay. And then if you keep scroll down, 2012, where is it? 2012, it's not there. Yeah. 31st March 2012, if you see at the end, right? So this is the value we are getting it, cumulative total. And when you see on the 1st April 2012, this value got reset because the financial year starts on 1st April 2012. Hence, this value got reset. And QTD, obviously, right, the 1st April, is the second quarter, and this value got reset. Okay, the month to date also got reset, and both of them are MTD only, and QTD also reset, right? Because the first quarter, second quarter, first day is this one, and this one not, but this one is not getting reset because year to date sales. Every beginning of new year, this one will get reset. Fiscal year to date sales, look here, it's so beautiful, right? It made our job so simple. We don't have to break our head writing lines and lines of code to implement this one. These functions are plain vanilla. It is already readily available, hence we can reuse it. That's all, guys. But once you understand the logic, that is enough. Okay, next one is, with this example, hope all of you have understood what is M2D, what is QTD, what is YTD, what is fiscal YTD, and what is what are the functions, right? You can use it. You can use either total YTD, MTD, QTD, or you can use dates add. So dates YTD, sorry, dates YTD, dates QTD, dates um, uh, MTD. Okay, that is also possible. But fiscal year, I'm not sure. We just check it out using dates YTD. Can you specify the fiscal year? You can check it out, but you can use either of them. Okay, either you can use that or this one. Any one of them you can use it. So this wraps up the the key time intelligence functions. Okay.